All right. So what we're gonna do is, yeah, we're gonna, all right, we'll play around with it later. I got these things here. So we can just, if it doesn't work, we just send all the wires back. Testing 1, 2. So that one. Oh, so Arthur, can you shift down a little bit because he's using this camera and that one. That's good. All right. So we're gonna start off small group as usual. Okay. First exercise, feet shoulder width turning. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands on your waist. Rotating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Cross. Hold your knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Hands on your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, center, rotating, 1, 2, 3, reverse, 1, 2, 3, center, hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, spread your feet, turn your shoulders, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and stop. Okay, we stretch it out. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, we shake it out. That's it. Deep breathing. Inhale, exhale. Okay, hands here. Shoulder roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and stop. Press, release, exhale, inhale. And stop. Okay, hands up. Pull an inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, palms down. Circular movements. Big. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Okay, let's go from side to side. center. Now we're going to switch. Okay, let's go insert needle, down. So lift up and down, up and down, up, down, up, and down. Switch. So we're going to go insert, lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, shake it out. Hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, we're going to get our legs swinging. And center. Okay, switch. And center. Okay, side to side. And center. Okay, other side. And center. Okay, shake it out. Pull in, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, so grilling. Switch. Okay, open and close. Switch. And Sana. Circular movements. Okay, lower hoop. Okay, shoulder height. Elbows down. Okay, palms down. Extend. deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, cloud hands. Okay, palms down. Lift up. Carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, infinity sign. Okay, Sana, form the fists. Okay, strum the lute. Turn, draw the bow. Okay. Fan to the back. Okay. Raise the hand. Okay. Palms down. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, good. So this morning we did a video. There's only a few people here, but so I actually spent a lot of time on the warm-ups. I think we spent an hour and 15 minutes on the warm-up, and we didn't even finish them. We only got up to carry Tiger to the mountain. So what I did was I went over them and kind of pointed out a lot of things that you're training for within the warm-up exercises. So if you have time, you can maybe just watch that. I didn't want to go over the same information that I already recorded. So it's just things that maybe weren't obvious to you, or maybe it's just realizing what else happens when you run through these fundamental exercises, which helps to build integration, helps you build some more awareness of what's happening, to the structure in the joint and in your hips and knees and so forth, and how it all kinds of tied together. So it's something just for your own understanding, or just some information so you to house there, and then it can help you kind of discover some other things. All right, so let's go through the short form and see where that goes. Okay, ready? Feet parallel. Deep breathing. Okay, good. So how to feel? Any questions? No. Want to just run through the long form again, or just run through it? So, okay. So, Manu, you want to come over here? You can over here and shift down a little. We'll have the whole spread there. Okay, ready? Yeah, so Kim, you can, yeah, that's good. All right, ready? Preparation. Hey, John. It's okay. Okay, deep breathing. Okay, good. So, mind anybody watching? Anybody have a question, or we're going to work on something that we all know that the form is made up of four people. It's a series of postures, or it's a group of postures, and we have to sort of identify each posture and then work within the realm of each mini sequence, because each posture is a unit, and then we try to link it together somehow by connecting the footwork to the transition that leads us to the next posture. So that it varies based on how your body's connected, but at the same time, yeah, you have to try to work within the realm of those two postures, say one leading into the next, and try to remain consistent with the geometry. So the geometry is tied into everything, you know, that we do spatially. The triangles, the squares, the circles, the arcs that are part of those circles, the angular positions in 3 dimensions, and trying to build the relationship of the substantial and insubstantial, which really is the passive and active movements. So, we talk a lot about these just to keep reinforcing the fact that our movements are driven, but they're not just movements. They're actually, you know, concepts of principles that we try to interpret. So, from forward and backward, right and left and center, it's really what we do dimensionally is we move through this mapping of the form. And the mapping of the form is called a routine. So a routine is just, your route. Where are you going directionally? So that's footwork used to, um, use to sidestep, advance, to attack, to retreat, to defend, to rise and to fall, to sink, to create the forces with gravity on a downside, lifting if you have to get out of a down position to move something, upward. So because they're directional, what is direction? Like a vector, right? It goes in a direction. But what the direction uh, of those movements create is forces in a direction. So forces are created by your action, from momentum, from body directional forces, meaning that could be just your arm, it could be just your leg. Those are kind of isolated, or you're controlling the backward and forward from the legs. So those concepts are built in everything. So let's go through the 5 part the horse's manes. Okay, so you can run through those, and then let's see what we can do to improve the transition. Now we're only licking the same posture. We're not even going into another posture. So remember the things that we have to get to happen is go through vertical to horizontal, vertical to horizontal. You have to step through. You have the change of legs. You have the shifting of weight, and you have your turning of the body. So let's see. Just kind of run through it, see what it's like. Might want to come over here. You can go over there, and then it's just they're like samples for the audience if they're watching, and it's also something that I can point out, when people go through it as what we should be doing, or at least be mindful of it as a consciousness, right? So okay, let's go. Let's go. So let's do the movements into the mirrors, all right? So the people, if they're using this camera, is that the camera we're using? Yeah. So you get to see the people in the mirrors as they're going through the movements. Okay. So we start off in say, um, huh? They only can see Arthur. Yeah. You want to change it to that camera? So we'll do the oblique camera. Um, yeah. See what it is that camera comes to here and here, so they'll miss that. The only way you can see you guys is through the mirror. So actually that camera is going to pick up some of the mirror. So, we're limited. Okay, so, so Mani, you can go here. And then, so where do we go? We're usually starting off from single whip and reversing the ball, right? So let's do that first. So let's go into single whip, facing this way. All right. So then you're going to make your transitions and try to stay together. So this is holding the ball, right? Reversing the ball. And then you sit back. And you're going to do the part the horse's mane 5 times. So you stroke down, go forward, right? Repeat it. So we do it twice on the same side. And then we're going to step up. And then we're going to sit back, twist step, step up, set up your hands, stroke down, and separate. And then we're going to stroke down again. And then we're ready for Jade Lady Work Shuttle, right? So, in your transition, First thing is using the mirror. When we hold the position, when we move in to hold the ball, you have to go through your center. You have to create the triangular position. So here's your first triangle, and here's the lower hoop. Here's your second triangle, and here's your shoulder height hoop, and both palms are facing. So you'd end up in this position, your palms are facing each other. You can see the roundness of that, right? And then we would reverse the ball. Okay. So when you reverse the ball, don't forget, because this is the hands, right? You have one here, here, and here. So there's kind of a creating of a roundness. So to create roundness, you have to create, like the hoop, the energy of the circle that's on the outside, on the periphery of your arms. So if I'm coming in like this and I'm creating that circle, that line of movement has to transfer to the outer side of your arm, which becomes the pung position or the pung energy. So when I'm here, I'm like this. Then when I turn, I sink my elbow, I turn my body, and I create the first diagonal flying. Okay, so like I said, we're linking each posture together, so each unit should be sort of transitioning pretty well, so that when you lead into the next one, you're not starting from a position that's not quite there. Otherwise, you'll be leading yourself into another position that's not correct to lead from. So that's why it's good to know your posture. So what's happening, so when we hold the ball and we turn and we turn and we set up and pass to here, this is your diagonal position on the right side. So the triangle, so do we understand what the triangle is? It's when we put our hands together like this. It's the same forearm and shoulder position once you bring the fingertips together. There's your triangle. So that just, it looks like the triangle when you do this now because you straighten this. But this is the leg of the triangle. This is the leg of another triangle. So depending on how you look at it, when I'm in this position, I have A, B, and C. If I'm in this position, I have A, B, and C, right? So you can see that the relationship of those triangles have to be consistent. So you have, a two-dimensional position, and then you have your triangles here. It's A, B, and C, right? Going. So you have all these triangles because that's the only thing we can form when we fold our elbow. You can't form a straight line once your elbows are bent. You can't form a circle once your arms are angular. So you only have a couple of options, right? You're either a circle, you're either a square, you're either a triangle. And then in between that is really, the slanted movement. So when we're like this, we already have a slant. When we cross it over by separating the hands, now you have a cross hand position. And then if you bend the wrist back, it comes into this position, and then that's between there and there are your two opposites, right? Then you're like that. So when we're reversing the ball, we hold the ball, fill out the bottom, bring it across, and fill up the top. We start to turn, right? Turn, and then the body changes. So your interim position is here. You continue across. So here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to sit back, and then we end up here, right? So we take that position, let's face the mirror here. First thing is to stroke down, hold the ball, pot the horse's mane. We go back to center with the front hand. We go down and then just create the hold the ball like this. So because we have two of those pot the horse's mane strung together, the first one's more complete. The second one just leads into the motion. You see? So when we're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it gives you a chance to practice two different techniques because one's holding the ball, and if you did capture then separate, or you're here, if you intercept here, then this covers here. It gives you two slightly different transitions, but it gives you a chance to, because a slightly different transition is going to sort of modify how you're going to turn your body and how you're going to integrate the downward movement and how you're going to separate the hands and how you're going to tie this movement into this movement like that. So that all is built into the silk reeling exercises, actually. Because silk reeling covers all that territory. It's just that we're doing pot the horse's mane. Silk reeling covers diagonal flying, pot the horse's mane, covers Jade Lady Work shuttle upper position if you're using that. So that's diagonal flying with a lift. See, so that's actually leading you to Jade Lady Work shuttle. Now, once we're here and we're in this position, now we have to sit back. Now we have to come through center and then bring this hand around to find this center. And then you stroke down and you create the left side, pot the horse's mane. Now, in order for us to move, we have to sit back to unweight. So we have to come back to neutral, sink the elbow. So we're here. 1, 2, 3. And then we do the second one just like the first set. So getting your hands to go through center is just strumming the lute, which is just this motion. But because we're here, we may not always be accustomed to go through center the way we should. So when we're here, you have to find your center and then switch to the other side. So that's extracted from your fundamentals. So your fundamentals, first you have to know this, and you have to know this, and then you do this as a drill, but then you have to tie that in with your torso movement and your footwork so that you have a balance between the cross-referencing of the movement. So if I'm here and I sit back and I turn, then there's your relationship to the legs, because when I'm here, I'm turning and I'm stepping. I'm turning and I'm stepping. I'm turning and I'm stepping, right? So you have this counterbalancing thing going on because the torso's twisting on the way up. It's just like when you open the form and we do this. So if you can't do it here, you're not going to do it over there, right? So that's why when you first learn the form, it's just a sequence. You go into the motion, you can find neutral, you find horizontal, you turn the corner, you find vertical, you find horizontal. But there's no linkage to the movement because it's impossible to get the linkage in the movement on the first day or first week or first month because you're so focused on remembering the sequence that it's impossible to know that the right hand is actually connected to your left side. So that's really a phase and a stage of development. So, you know, as a teacher and instructor, you have to sort of distinguish and sort of categorize the line that they should be kind of learning and not go over the top because then it becomes a little bit too complicated. Now here we got a cross-section of different levels of people, but what it is we're still talking about it beyond sequence. We should be at least exploring some of the ideas, and then take those ideas, house them in here, interpret them, and use certain perception that you already have, and try to get to understand that. And that's really the process. So that's, if you were to put it into a book, that's where the chapters come into play, and here's where the maybe volume 1, and then introduction, volume 2, and then might be leg work, it might be. So, it's really hard to, put it into that. It would take a lot of effort to do that, but, that's what you have to do, to get it to happen. So then you can actually teach it, as a, as a formal type of curriculum. But at this point, it's really working together and hearsay. This is what he said. You hear it, and this is you say it again, and then. But you have to understand it. If you understand it, then you can actually interpret a lot better. So when we're here, we go to Jade Lady Work Shuttle, right? So here's the same thing. We have to go to here. We have to turn. So when I talk about compatibility of movement, when I'm here and I sit back and I turn and step up, then that actually ties together the cross corner movement. Is that Tom, right? Tom, yeah. He hasn't been here a while. 1, 2. So because we have this relationship where we're like this, and like this, and then like that, that's kind of the equal opposite thing that we have, right? There's no difference between this and this, right? So it's similar, right? It's the same idea. So when we're here, and we sit back, we start to move, then when we cross, it goes with the leg, and then it ends up like this, right? So it ends up like this because now this hand becomes part of that. Then we go forward, then we turn and go backward, then we turn, fold, and go upward. And that's how we do a Jade Lady Work Shuttle. So because we're here, and we go to this position, then we go to this position, then we go to this position, and then sink down, and then lift up, and then turn. All you're doing is preparing the joint positions, the geometry of those positions, drive it from your torso and your legs. Then you create the final position. And the reason, if you're driving it from your body, you have, just like we were talking about yesterday, you have a better chance of controlling your limbs, the upper appendages, because, and manipulating of your hands, because they're not committed. You haven't, through anticipation of movement, overreached, and you're not really committed. So if you're not committed, you can make the change. Works the same way in the market, right? Once you make the commitment, you hit the button and you made the sale, it's gone. But if you're not committed because you didn't hit the button, we didn't really hit the button yet. So when we're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have chance of doing that. You have chance of doing all these things can happen because you can make those minute adjustments. That's the manipulation of skeletal structure. So we're talking about this, and it's fairly complex stuff. But all of you have been doing it for many years, some longer than others. But you got a lot of years under your belt. So all this stuff is just opening light bulbs, turning on lights, and then see if they start to. Yeah. So so the the neutral position is just sort of central equilibrium, the balance point between your movement. So between your motions, you have two sides, right and left, up and down, forward and back, slant and no slant. So you just have to try to compromise and balance. So if I'm here, there's right and there's left. There's left and right. There's 1, 2, 3. So this is up and down. This is forward, turn, and forward, back, 1, 2. So there's always going to be one leading the other, but you always have to balance the movement by turning in the opposite direction. So the principle in that is called move right and move left. Gaze right and move left, or move left and gaze right. So those, if you look at those Tai Chi books, you would read those kind of passages. But you can't interpret it if you never did Tai Chi. And then after you did Tai Chi, you wouldn't still transfer that information into your body, because all you did was memorize, or if not even memorize it, read it. And it's just here. But it doesn't, it's not interpreted, it's just kind of there. You know you heard it, but you don't know what it really means until you actually start to move. So when you're in the vertical position, you could be vertical hand, and then the body's moving. You could be here going to horizontal, but then you could be leaning. But then here's my lean. But when I go forward, and I turn, then I reset and come back to center, then you're always passing through the central equilibrium, which you can maybe consider as your neutral position, because neutral being not right or left, not up or down or middle. So that neutral will change all the time. Just like if I go like this, that's kind of neutral or standard, right? Why? Because if I'm here, I can go like that and I can go like that. That becomes, so my hands are like this. That's like the neutral position. Then I go like this. It's sinking, and that's rising. So that's as, as not obvious as possible, right? Because when I go like this, and this, my hand had actually, I was neutral here. And then it starts to descend here, then you're lifting from here. When I sink my elbow, and then that starts to go like this, it's a function of your action. So that's tied into your sensitivity and action. Trying to, again, recreate the geometry of positions and even more minute positions than that. So, it's kind of deep in the sense of understanding, but it's pretty complex in the realm of movement. It's not easy to do all of these things, simply because by the time you leave here, you might even say, "Oh, do you remember what he said?" Right. Anyways, okay, so that's it. 7:30. So that was we didn't break out, but hopefully whoever's watching can get something out of that. And it's recorded, so if you want to hear it again and then tell me I don't do that, then you can too.